Hello class, and welcome back to today's lesson. In today's lesson, I want us to talk about economic optimization. The question is, what is economic optimization? That's the question. What is economic optimization? Or simply, what is optimization? Now, optimization is a process of making the best of a situation or resources. It's a process of making the best of a situation or resources. So when you are given a situation or resources, you make the best out of that. That is called optimization. Or in other words, optimization is a process of making the effective use of the situation or resources. The process of making effective use of resources or situation. Now, you should understand that economics is concerned with coming up with optimal solution, coming up with the best solution, coming up with effective solutions. Now, for example, the manager may want to find out the output level that will produce higher profit. So that's an example where the manager is in need of finding a solution that will help in the production of a high profit. Okay, now optimization involves making or minimizing some objective functions. That is maximizing or minimizing some objective functions. Optimization involves maximizing or minimizing some objective function, which may be a subject to one or more constraints. Now, we are yet to talk about objective function. But one thing that we should note is that optimization involves maximizing or minimizing some objective functions, and this may be subjected to one or more constraints. Now, constraints are limitations. Now, if we want to know the output level that will produce higher profit, it's important to understand what marginal analysis is. Marginal analysis is used to determine the level of output at which profit is maximized. And later on in this course, we are going to talk more about marginal analysis. Okay, what is now an objective function? What is an objective function? This entails what you want to achieve when you make a decision. An objective function involves what you want to achieve at the end of the day after you have made a decision. Okay, if the company wants to increase total profit, then their objective is to increase the total profit. That's what they want to achieve at the end, is to increase total profit. Therefore, the company needs to come up with optimal decision. Remember, this company wants to make decision that will help in increasing total profit. Therefore, this company has to come up with optimal decision that help in the maximization of total what? Profit. Functions are expressed in equations. Objective functions are expressed in what? Equation. And as we have said earlier on, when handling these functions, or let's say equations, we should be aware that optimization always involves maximizing or minimizing some objective functions. So we'll be minimizing or maximizing such an equation. Let's say if we are given a profit equation, we'll try to maximize it so that we make a lot of profit. If you are given a cost equation, we'll try to minimize the cost equation so that the costs are not that much, giving us what? High profit. Okay. Now, differentiation is a process that leads to optimization of solution. So if we want to optimize a solution, we do what we call differentiation. So let's answer this. What is differentiation then? Differentiation is the instantaneous rate of change of a function at a specific point. So, differentiation is the instantaneous rate of change of a function at a specific point. We understand that later. Let's continue. Now, differentiation is also called derivative of a function. Differentiation is also called the derivative of a function and is denoted by, number one, it is denoted by f, open bracket, x, close bracket, or differentiation is denoted by dy over dx. Now, this means finding the change in y for a change in x. So the thing is, differentiation involves finding the change in product y if there is a product in product x, and when the change in x approaches 0. We are trying to find the value of y for the change in x when that x is going down, approaching 0. That is actually differentiation. For example, we have this profit equation, where it is saying 2x plus 2y squared minus x squared plus 3y. Now, let's assume we are differentiating for x. We are actually trying to find the change in x or the change that will happen in y. Or if we are differentiating y, we are finding the change in y that will happen for the change that will happen in x. So, finding that change, the instantaneous rate of change of a function at a specific point is called differentiation. Now, our specific point is x. Our specific point is y. So, the change in y, how is it going to affect a change in x? The change in x, how is it going to affect a change in y? That is differentiation. Okay. So, differentiation can be understood if we understand the law of differentiation. So if we are to understand differentiation very well, we must understand the law of differentiation. So let's talk about the rules of differentiation. Rules of differentiation. We should understand that there are a number of rules of differentiation, but we will focus on the following. Number one, we focus on the constant rule. Number two, the power rule. Number three, the sum rule. Number four, difference rule. Number five, product rule. So these are the rules of differentiation that we are going to focus on. Okay, let's go on and talk about this rule, which is constant rule. Now, what is constant rule all about? Okay, the constant rule states that the derivative of any prime number is 0. So when you differentiate any prime number, what you get is 0. Let's see an example. If we differentiate y, which is equal to 6, if we differentiate that, our y is going to be 0. If we differentiate by saying dy over dx, our y will be 0. Why? Because y is having a prime number which is 6. Next, let's differentiate x. Now, x has got a prime number 27. So if we do the dy dx function, you find that the value of x, if we differentiate, is 0. So any number, any prime number, when you differentiate it, is 0. So any prime number is a constant number, which is 0. That's one thing that we should understand. I hope you have understood what I've actually talked about. In our next lesson, we'll continue talking about the sum rule, the difference rule, and the other rule. Thank you very much. Please listen to this over and over if you are to understand. God bless you. I'll post some work and see if you have understood the constant rule. Thank you and God bless you. Shalom, shalom.